talking about mastering the basics today and how to take the unsexy and dull of that and turn it into the miraculous and the fulfilling. So we'll dive into that in just a sec. Before that, though, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being you in your life. Whether you're listening here on this podcast, that is showing up for you. Whether you're showing up in your relationships, if that is showing up, kudos to you. If you're showing up in your business and your profession and your career, that's showing up for you. Keep it going. Thank you for showing up for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for choosing to become your greatest possible self. Next up is the iTunes review of the week. This week, it's by C.A. Cleary, who says valuable and entertaining content. It's obvious that Chris really cares about becoming his best self and helping others to do the same. He listens well, asks thoughtful questions, and highlights action steps his audience can take for personal and professional development. His energy and enthusiasm make his interviews not only interesting, but enjoyable to listen to. C.A. Cleary, thank you so much for giving us that review. And if you want a chance to get shouted out on a future 12-hour live stream, go to beergps.com/iTunes or search Greatest Possible Self on the Apple Podcast Store. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. We're diving in to master the basics. And today's theme is the power of progression. Why? Because the marathon today is 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, oh, progression, growth, becoming our GPS. I can't wait till we get to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,234 marathons. Man, that's going to be a milestone. That's like 20 years of marathons, isn't it? I think so. No, it's like more. So if we do 50 a year, 50-ish a year, over 20 years, that's 1,000. Over 25, it'd be 25 years. 25 years to get to 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. That's a mission. That's some progression right there. I'm stoked to be here and now, though. I've always been a futurist, thinking about the future and being excited about what's to come. And I think being here and now, being grateful for what is, that is one of the greatest journeys and moments of acceptance that we can create in our own lives. To appreciate what is, to embody gratitude, appreciation, our loved ones, just having conversations that matter, being connected, looking at someone in the eyes and asking them how they are, or telling a loved one, I love you. That is the stuff that matters. And that is also, in terms of today's conversation of creating fulfilling and miraculous experiences and the energy of fulfilling and miraculous. It is a creation. It is a transformation from what we have, most of us have been programmed to experience and believe. So the power of progression is growth, it's evolution, it is staying consistent, staying true. Keep showing up. It's one thing I always acknowledge people who are tuning in to this 12-hour live stream is to keep showing up, because that is something that makes such a massive difference in the long run. I found one of my greatest opportunities for growth, my greatest periods of growth, is when I kept showing up to Toastmasters for 2 years straight, going every Sunday. There were a couple of Sundays that I took off after the first year, but in the first year, I was like hardcore consistent. And I think that showing up, like Peter and I were just talking about in the last interview, of getting into community, getting around other people, it's essential to be able to really be fulfilled. Okay? So progression is important just because of the marathon number today. And more specifically, I wanted to dive into this conversation of mastering the basics, because I believe progression is a endless pursuit of mastering the basics. There is no endpoint. There is no finish line, so to speak, that you get to of mastering the basics. Someone said, Bruce Lee or someone else said, I am not afraid of the man who has learned 10,000 different punches, different moves, different techniques that he has practiced only once. But I am deathly afraid of and I'm probably paraphrasing, I am deathly afraid of the man who has learned one technique and practiced it 10,000 times. Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hour rule to become an expert, to become, someone who's like world class at something. And I think that mastery process for a lot of people is very unsexy, is very sucky, is very grindy, is very annoying, is very overwhelming, is very, why the heck do I have to do this? I know it was for me, okay? My own journey of social media, posting content, my own journey of building businesses, whichever business I was building, that was a difficult time for me. Even especially showing up to work for someone else in a job or a career that was not something that was linked to my purpose. In the beginning, I wasn't clear. What am I here to do? Why am I doing this? My actions and activity was not connected to some kind of higher purpose. I got my electrical engineering degree, but after I graduated, I joined a network marketing company, fell flat on my face, felt like I was a total failure, and then continued to wander to find my purpose and my greatest gifts and how I could share those with the world. And so that process for me was very unsexy. So I can't say that everything will be sexy, everything will be miraculous, everything will be fulfilling, because that was not my experience. I had very unsexy, grindy, boring, overwhelming, ugly moments of my life where I was not proud of who I was being, where I was not feeling like my greatest possible self. And that's okay. I think that's part of a human experience. But what I'm here to talk to you today about is this process of mastering the basics, figuring out, first of all, what are the basics that you want to master? And second of all, how do you transform your mindset and perspective and paradigm? Bob Proctor is constantly talking about paradigm. How do you transform your conscious beliefs, conscious mindset, conscious thoughts, and your subconscious mindset to be able to take on that mastery process and mastering those basics in a way where it becomes miraculous, where it becomes fulfilling, where it becomes magical, where it becomes this beautiful dance, okay? And I'm still totally right in the middle of this. I'm balancing back and forth. I would say I'm more often on the times of seeing the magic, seeing the miracles and the fulfillment in each moment, but I definitely often swing to skepticism, cynicism, doubt, disbelief, grind, annoyance, overwhelm, anxiety, frustration, suffering, isolation, disconnection, and not being my greatest possible self. The human experience. Thank you very much. That being said, I've come up with a couple different strategies that have helped me. I would say I'm a pretty energized, alive, happy, positive, go-getter, go-giver person in my life, and I want to just share that with you. What has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, and just to be on the journey with you. So, mastering the basics. I read a book a while back called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and it basically said when you do something small, like eat a donut or not eat a donut, go to the gym or not go to the gym, save $1 or not save $1. When you do that often enough, compounded over time, not only does the action build up as far as 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, not only does that happen, but the amount of action builds up. So instead of $1 once a week investing, if you keep doing the $1 once a week, according to the compound effect, eventually you're going to want to start doing $2 a week, $5 a week, $10 a week, because you've built that habit, you've built up the muscle, and you've become someone who has a greater capacity to do what used to be really difficult. So in mastering the basics, a little kid might learn how to throw a pitch, and because of that kid, or talk about a grown adult. A grown adult who has no physical hand-eye coordination might first throw a pitch, and it might be really slow, be lobbed, be like just super slow. But over time of practicing that, the pitch will be sped up, the pitch will be more accurate, the throw will be more effective, okay? So same thing with eating foods that are healthy or unhealthy. Every time you eat the donut, it's just eating a donut in the beginning. But after a while, you could have this habit that develops into eating 3 donuts instead of 1 in a week, or eating 5 donuts or 10 or 20 in a week instead of 1. Okay, sounds like a pretty ridiculous example, but this is how the compound effect works according to Darren Hardy. I'm pretty aligned with it. Again, whatever in this conversation resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, throw it away. Okay. For me personally, my mastering the basics was sucking really bad at sales. Okay, that's something a basic I really felt like I sucked at. In network marketing, I enrolled a couple of distributors, people onto my team to have them represent the company and the products. Oftentimes, my level of leadership was the lid. It's interesting because I attracted people who were not very effective at enrolling other clients, enrolling other team members. And I wondered, like, what's going on? Why is it that I can enroll some people, a handful of people, but I can't pass this on to other people? And so I think confidence was a basic I didn't master. Being comfortable in my own self-esteem, comfortable in my own skin and my own self-esteem, that was the basics that I didn't master. But sales was the activity that I judged my life by, success or failure. I either am hitting my marks, making the money that I want to make, or not. And 99% of my life has been, I am not hitting the marks. What is going on? And so that has been a very grueling, ugly, painful mastering the basics process. But today, I would say I have something that I really love, product that I love with this 12-hour marathon podcast, helping people launch their podcasts themselves. I love what I do, and I feel like it's really aligned with my purpose. I feel in integrity with what I'm delivering. I'm firing on all cylinders in a lot of ways. Is there room to grow? Of course. Can it get bigger, better, more effective, generate more revenue? Yes, of course. But the basic that I have mastered is I've had, I want to say, I don't know, probably over 700 sales conversations for my business, for coaching or the 12-hour marathon. Okay. And enrolling guests into coming on, and investing in their appearance in coming on the 12-hour marathon. Probably over 700 for coaching, one-on-one sessions, and inviting those people to join coaching and sign up for coaching, and then 12-hour marathon. So I also had sales experience in the field selling door-to-door for Verizon. I have no idea how many doors I visited. I was in it for about 9 months. So if I went to, let's say, 20, at least 20 businesses a day, knocked on 20 doors, then that would be 5 times 20, 100 times 4, 400 times 5 times 20 times 4, 400 times 9 months. So 3,600. Okay, so that's 3,600 attempts, 3,600 prospecting calls, attempts, plus my own personal business. Plus, I also worked at a fitness boot camp and did outbound calls for them, scheduling appointments. I have no idea how many I did there, but again, we'll do an estimation. I think I was with them for like 4 months. If I did 20 a day there too, we'll estimate that's on average. I don't know if I called 20 people or actually reached 20 people, but we'll say I connected with 10 people a day, right? It wasn't a whole lot. It was like a part-time thing. So connected with 10 people a day times 5 days a week times 4 months. I think I did 5 days a week. Might have been 4. Anywho, 10 calls, 10 connections times 5, 50 times 4, 200 times 4, 800. Okay, so 3,600 plus 700 plus 36, 700, 800-ish, right? That's what I said. 5,100. My brain's like, we're running through the finish line on this 12-hour marathon. Oh my gosh. So 5,100-ish calls, sales conversations, attempts, I would say, to enroll a prospect in taking the next step, whether that's starting a conversation or even going for the close. Okay. And many, many more connection messages, invitations, things like that. Anyways, over the years, like and plus I didn't talk about network marketing, which was also a bunch. I had a ton of conversations for Landmark, for inviting people to that. So there was lots of invitation, enrollment, sales conversations in my life. Okay. And I would say I'm pretty very well consciously competent about sales. And if someone asks me how to do things and sales strategy, sales process, things like that, like I'm decent. I'm like definitely no expert at sales, although I am developing a sales game to help people succeed at sales. But I would say I hold my own, and I have good conversations. I find out what people want, and I see if there's a fit between what I'm offering, what I have, and inviting them to do it. Had a lot of practice. How did I start to make things miraculous and fulfilling, and take it from unsexy grind to miraculous and unfulfilling? One of the things that I heard along my journey is, for any entrepreneur who's just starting and wants to build their own business, if you have the track record, if you have the experience, it's way easier to sell clients and to build up your business. If you don't, go to someone who you believe in what they have to sell. If you believe in their offer, their product, their service, their company, their leadership, and go work for them. Okay, that's something I didn't do. I said, I'm going to do this on my own. Screw you. I'm a very isolationist, according to Peter's last conversation. Isolation was a big strategy of mine to cope, to not have to confront the uncomfortable. So my journey of making things miraculous and fulfilling, first of all, was to find something that I truly believed in, I truly loved doing. So my philosophy is, hey, I'm doing this 12-hour marathon. I might as well get paid to do it and serve guests at a bigger level and make a bigger impact. And of course, like, be valued for my time, my energy, the expertise that I've developed, the ability that I have to share with my audience, with you, to get people's messages out to you, to help guests get their message out and do it in a very professional, becoming your greatest possible self, energy and way and perspective. Like, that was a part of my journey. That's something I'm really proud of. And I love what I do here. I love to learn. I love to support people in getting their message out. So I really fell in love with this 12-hour live stream and podcasting. And so I know the value that it's brought to my life, as far as the new connections, new friendships, new abilities to get invited to events and things like that. And to be able to share that with clients who want to launch their own podcasts is also super, super amazing. It's like, I'm so grateful for my ability to share something I believe so much in. Podcasting, I believe so much in. Building your audience, I believe so much in. Developing your own communication, leadership, tribe building skills, marketing skills, conversation effectiveness, etc. All that is like such massive benefits that will stick with you for the rest of your life. So I knew that was something I believed in as well. So I'd say, number one, in terms of mastering the basics, find a dream or a vision that you see your basics, mastering whatever the basics is, lined up with. Let's say you want to develop video games, you want to develop an augmented reality game that gamifies life, and you start practicing coding and you hate it. I get it. And how can you be grateful? How can you be curious? How can you be in wonder? How can you really love and enjoy the adventure? Okay, so a lot of things that I did was reframing what I was already doing, was bringing more play, more joy, more fun to what I was already doing, healing childhood wounds, traumas, things, energies, paradigms that were stuck with me, saying that this sucks, life's supposed to be hard, it's hard to make money, life is difficult, I'm not worth it, I'm not enough, like I don't deserve to earn that much, whatever the limiting beliefs were that I freaking crushed and squashed and said, GTFO, kick that ish right out of here. Whatever those were, I had to first discover what they were and then start to work on reprogramming, reframing. A lot of the time and energy I think a lot of people in personal development invest is in trying to attack and reprogram and change a belief that is in your mind. And waiting to go take the action or do the thing until everything is lined up and everything's all perfect. Okay, I don't agree with that. I don't believe in that. I think it's so important for us to be taking action on a daily basis on the top priorities, having just powerful critical thinking, tough conversations of, is this getting me to where I want to go? Am I performing at the level that I want to perform at? What resources, help, accountability, community support, what changes and strategies do I need to implement to be able to get to where I want to go? I think I avoided having a lot of those questions, a lot of those conversations early on. And so my solution was to isolate into personal development, to keep learning, try saying learning like 50 times fast. It's tough. So I was wanting to learn so much before I was ready to take action. So number one, go take freaking action. That's going to make you progress on your dreams faster than anything. And if you can, take obsessive massive action around it. Take 8 hours of like just laser focused on the one thing, two things that move your business and the needle in your business the most. I don't think you can go wrong with that strategy, other than if you're unhealthy, you're unsatisfied, you're not unsatisfied. If you're unhealthy, if you're cutting too many corners, if you are being so abrasive with your well-being in that 90-day process, 90-day sprint of doing, 8 hours a day for your dream, and you're like, let's say getting 3 hours of sleep, then that's not going to work. That is not sustainable. I don't even think you could do it for 90 days. I think like after a couple of weeks, you'd be burning out and having some serious system body biological failure. Anywho, go all in on what you do, but find something you believe in. And to make things miraculous and fulfilling, it's really reframing your journey. Okay. So number one, like, how can you play more in this moment? How can you play more? How can you have more fun? How can you enjoy the process of this? How can you be curious? Something I started saying to myself is, I know that, because I would shut off my learning. I would be doing something I've already done what felt like a billion times. I know that, and what else can I learn? I know that, and what else can I learn? I know that, and what else can I learn? How else can I grow? How else can I discover newly this thing that I've been doing what feels like a billion times? Like, how else can I really supercharge my presence, my being here and now, and taking action and having fun? Those are all really great questions to be able to reframe how you see a certain situation and be more empowered in doing it. Find the value. Why are you doing this? The big why. The big why. Why are you doing this? To create the life of your dreams, to provide for your family, to serve the people who are suffering, to da-da-da-da-da-da. You got to figure out a reason why, to overcome the resistance and the BS and the nonsense that's going to come up anyways. People saying no. Difficulties, putting out fires, life circumstances and other things that happen that derail you, that take you off your path. Okay, so figure out what those are, figure out the why. But I really think that gratitude and playing like a little freaking kid, and being in wonder, being in awe, like, this is how you should feel. Your body, your state, your energy should literally shift when I say being in wonder, being in awe, being in wonder, being in awe, being your greatest possible self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude, wonder. Feel the relief, feel the connection, look around you and feel the amazement. Ask yourself, how can I be amazed with what I'm currently experiencing? Being in this room, having this technology. Think about all the things that had to happen for this technology to work, for people to be able to hear this message, this interview. It is freaking incredible. Okay? So be in wonder, be in awe. For me, that's made one of the biggest differences in terms of my fulfillment, in terms of my growth, to have more fun and create more fulfillment, create more magic, create more miracles. the other thing is just the little things. How can I celebrate the little things? How can I pay attention to the little things that happen and make those little things big things? Blow them up so that they're just awesome. Why it's so amazing? Why is it so amazing that I have this case on my computer? It's this plastic piece of nonsense, but it's amazing that it was designed to protect my computer. It's amazing that it survived as long as it survived. It's amazing that it's still on my computer, and the design on it is so beautiful. And blow those little things that are good, that you value, that are important, into big, awesome value, and it will make a huge difference for you. Okay, so the other thing is a lot of people talk about being in the present moment. For me, breathing has been a powerful access to that. What are the sensations that I'm feeling? What am I experiencing in my body, in my life? And paying attention to those little things and the sensations in your body, and the textures, the smells, the sights, the colors, the different dimensions of things, how everything is all connected together. That has been such a powerful way for me personally to supercharge my reality, to be grateful, to be fulfilled, and to create those little miracles that expand into big, freaking, epic life. So I just want to say thank you for choosing to see your life as a miracle, to see your life as fulfilling. It starts with a decision, starts with a choice to shift your perspective, to change how things are going for you. If you want to create more miracle, if you want to create more magic in your life, it's as simple as a decision. Okay? So I invite you to make that decision now, and I want you to write it on a piece of paper if you have one in front of you, and also write it on social media. Say, I choose to see my life as a miracle. Go write it on social media, put it on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, put it on your LinkedIn, put it on stories, wherever you want to put it, and just go celebrate that. Make a declaration. And if you feel weird about it, good. It means you got to do it even more, right? Like if you feel uncomfortable to declare that to social media, it's time to break out of that small little confinement that you have put yourself in to try to people please and make sure everyone's happy all around you, because that is total BS. And if it goes against your brand, man, it's time to invent a new brand. If your brand doesn't believe in miracles, you're not a brand that deserves it. No, I'm just kidding. So create that. Create your reality. Create your declaration of what you're attracting, what you're committed to, and know that you deserve everything you desire. Okay, you can be, do, and have anything you want. Go post that on social media, and let me know how I can support you in creating your life as more of a miracle. Of course, keep tuning into Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self, because it's a freaking awesome platform, and we're here to keep inspiring and encouraging you to be your GPS. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.